Joining us now, Democratic strategist, pollster, and founder of Brilliant Corners Research, Cornell Belcher. Cornell is also an MSNBC political analyst. So, Cornell, you listened to that conversation. Oh, tell me what you think.
Great conversation with smart people. I love it.
I only have smart people on this program. Tell me what you think. How do you see this playing out in the numbers?
Well, a couple things. One, I do want to push back. I do want to rejoin that conversation because I think too often in media, and I know we do it because we've got to convey a lot in a short period of time, we oversimplify things and we make it the narrative about one variable at best. Like, it was not COVID that just did Donald Trump in the last election. There were multiple variables, and many of those variables started to show up in 2018 when Democrats had one of the most successful elections they ever had. And it wasn't simply about COVID. And if you look at the gender gap, Katie, that happened in 2018, you understand a lot of that was about women and their rejection of what they saw and the misogyny and the direction of the country. So it wasn't simply about COVID. It wasn't one variable. When I look at the data right now, look, I think part of, the conversation earlier was about whether or not, the public has amnesia. Sometimes we have amnesia in the media as well about what campaigns are, right? And if you look back go back to Bush versus Kerry, there was a time and point where Bush wasn't doing very good against Kerry either. And certainly in 2012, as you all were just talking about, and I worked on the Obama campaign in 2008 and 2012. And was Obama where he needed to be with voters 5-6 months out from the election? No, he absolutely wasn't. Younger voters who we needed to lock in, and even voters of color who we needed to lock in, weren't like, you know what, we got all the hope and change we asked for. It's fine. He did fantastic with all that change. No, they're always disgruntled, Katie. So the question is, do you have a story to tell? And look, Bush had a better story to tell the American people, so he won. Obama, in the end, had a better story to tell than Mitt Romney, so he won. And the question is, does Biden have a better story to tell than Donald Trump?
But the numbers show that he does have that story to tell. I mean, but it's hard to tell voters that the experience that they believe they're having, where the prices have gone up and they're upset about it, housing is too expensive. Chuck mentioned a child tax credit. People are really upset about the cost of living in terms of getting their kids taken care of. It is extremely expensive. Housing, really expensive. Groceries are really expensive. So even though the numbers show the economy is very good, that things are going in the right direction, wage growth, unemployment, inflation coming down, there is still that pervasive feeling that it's not as good as I want it to be. I feel angry about it. So how do you tell that positive story without making people feel that they're not being seen or heard?
Now, Katie, I'm going to be a bad guy, right? I'm going to be the bad consultant. You don't have gray hair like I have, but I remember when Ronald Reagan said it was morning in America. And Katie, if you look at the statistics and you look at what the American public was, American people didn't think it was morning America. They didn't think things were great, right? We were trying to scrap our way out of a recession again, but it's about the storytelling. And it's about, look, the best politicians in history of American politics have always been optimistic, and I think, to a certain extent, at some point, we're going to look back and we're going to see Trump as an outlier in this because he wasn't a very optimistic. He's everything is dark and gruesome. He sees America as Gotham City, as opposed to a shining city on the hill. But at some point, the best politicians in American life, whether it be Republican or Democrats, are optimistic. And they sell this optimism to Americans. And because you know what Americans want to believe? They want to believe that tomorrow is going to be better. And you've got to lean into it and sell that to the American people. And I think, again, it's about storytelling. Now, Biden is not the storyteller that Ronald Reagan was, but he's got a good story to tell Americans about. It's morning in America. It's getting better. We've come through a lot, but it's getting better, and stick with it.
I had Reverend Al Sharpton on a moment ago, and he said even Jesus needed his disciples. I wonder who the disciples for the Biden team are going to be in trying to go out and tell that story, as you're talking about, and whether we're going to see more. We saw Jill Biden yesterday, Dr. Jill Biden, introducing a dreamer as part of the executive action to legalize him, to give him a pathway to legalization. And I was struck by how strong she sounded at that podium. I wonder if we're going to see more of her and who else is in the stable to come out and to start campaigning alongside President Biden, who, as you said, is not the storyteller that Reagan was, and even not the storyteller he once was either. Cornell Belcher, it's really good to have you.